You just go out to the farm now and you just get that sense that everything's just so much more alive. The livestock are so much more content and happy, and it's just made the farming part of our lives so much more of a pleasure. I'm Will Foley and this is my wife Abbey, and we're in Whatumā district in central Hawke's Bay. So this farm here, we moved here nearly 3 years ago. It's 80 hectares in size. We just run one mob of beef heifers and live here with our two boys, Archie and Teddy. There was a number of things going on at the time when we started to think a little bit differently about things, and in particular the way we farmed. Archie was born 7 years ago, and probably from about a year old worked out his autism diagnosis. We decided to go down a route of looking at his diet and supplement needs, and got some pretty amazing results from going through that process. So that kind of just made us think a lot about the food we eat and where it comes from, and also just my own farming business. By dropping our inputs and making our business more resilient around its productivity seemed to be a good way to go.
I looked at the regen philosophy more as reducing synthetic chemicals applied to the farm.
We've tried a few different ways to transition to regenerative agriculture, and what we're doing right now is adaptive planned grazing. And so basically we have all the livestock on the farm in one mob and quite a high stocking density. We do frequent shifts. We basically try and keep the covers higher than you would normally. The idea is I want them to just take one bite off that plant and then move on. So we keep the grass plant in what's called growth phase 2. So there's still a lot of the grass leaf left when they leave, which acts as a solar panel capturing the solar energy. And so if we graze that down too low, it basically means the energy needs to come from the roots first to regrow, and the time to get back to be at optimal grazing is just so much longer.
And the best energy is in that top 10% of the
Top third of the plant
third
is
of
the
the plant, yeah,
best energy for the cattle.
for the cattle.
The good thing about adaptive planned grazing is there is no input costs required, just your time. And so we just divide our paddocks up into basically as smaller cells as we can manage for our time. So we can shift anywhere from 4 times a day up to 8 times a day. And basically the higher the stock density, the more often you shift, the better results you'll get.
I think what has surprised us is how easy it is to transition. You expect really slow results, but we have found with the adaptive grazing that you can get pretty surprising results in a short amount of time.
Productivity looks like it's going to lift, not only match but lift the traditional way we've farmed, and our costs will be next to nothing, so our profitability will be up. I think as farmers we've now got the tools to have more profitable farming systems, better environmental outcomes, and I think happier customers that are starting to ask the questions about the way we produce our food, and this will line up with that along with everything else.